Supreme Upholstery Limited is a manufacturer of quality bespoke upholstered furniture. Come along with your ideas for that perfect sofa to fit your home and let Supreme bring your ideas to fruition. We also offer a service to the contract market, including large hotel groups and small family-run business. No matter how large or how small your order, you will always get that personal service from our sales team. Come along and visit our showroom.
Eurogold is driven by being the best civil engineering contractor in the Northwest, ensuring its clients are given the highest level of service that they deserve. Eurogold work in a wide range of industry sectors, including house building, highways, commercial and industrial build.
La Vita is an award-winning, independently run Italian restaurant. Located on Rose Lane in the heart of Liverpool, real Italian-style dishes, using the best ingredients, skillfully prepared by our chefs. Come and try our serious Italian experience.
The Warrington Irish Club. Friendly and welcoming club keeping the Irish culture alive. We have Irish and country music every Saturday night, tribute nights, race nights, charity nights and karaoke. All live sports are shown on big screens. We have snooker, dominoes and Crown Green bowling teams along with arts and craft. Pop in for a friendly welcome and book your event at the Warrington Irish Club. Give Frank a call on 01925 243 363.
Mulligan's Funeral and Monumental Services are a family-owned funeral service first established by the late Brian Mulligan in 1996. We provide funeral homes in Gorton, Manchester and Reddish, Stockport, and we pride ourselves on giving a friendly and professional service to all the families who use our service. Contact us on 0161 432 0809.
Hello and welcome to the show. St Alphonsus Parish Centre in Old Trafford, Manchester was first opened in 1984 and since then it's been the centre of the community. Now the centre is on the verge of closing and we'll be finding out all about it later in the show. Now, as we all know, the cost of living has gone through the roof over this last 12 months. And lots of people are struggling to pay their bills and to get advice and help. Well, recently we went along to Irish Community Care in Manchester, who provide a wide variety of services, help and advice to people right across the city of Manchester. Patrick, tell me a little bit about what your job entails here at Irish Community Care in Manchester.
Well, I've been an advice and information worker at Irish Community Care for coming on 5 years now, and our role very much involves looking at people's benefits, whether their income levels are correct, and if necessary, applying for benefits for them. And what we will do is we will assess someone's entitlement, we will help them make an application, and then we will see that through until they get a decision. If the decision turns them down and we feel that they are entitled to the benefits, we will help them make a mandatory reconsideration and even up to appeal. We can attend courts with people and assist them in following through right to the end of a process.
Of course, benefits is a highly and hugely massive thing at the moment because there's so many people suffering with the cost of living.
Well, this is one of our primary aims, is to help people adjust where their income has fallen and to deal with the cost of living. When people hit retirement age, their income falls off massively because they're no longer working, and this in turn means that with the increase in price rises, that people are beginning to struggle a wee bit. So we can help people look at their income and see if they're on the correct income, and if necessary, help them make the relevant applications.
Of course, this time of the year, coming into summertime now, we don't need our gas and electricity as much, but normally during winter time, of course, this is hugely highly priced for some people that can't afford it.
It's very difficult for people, and it's very difficult for people to cope with, and we know people get very worried about turning the heating on when they're turning the lighting on, and this creates a huge pressure for some of our client group, because when people reach retirement age, you know, they should be able to enjoy life, but they begin to feel a pressure of, you know, either heating or eating or putting lights on, or being able to go out and do a couple of day-to-day activities that beforehand they would have taken for granted.
Now, I know that there's other items as well that you deal with here at Irish Community Care. Tell me about that.
Well, we'll deal with housing applications, so where people are maybe homeless or in housing difficulty, we will look to assist them making applications to Manchester City Council or other relevant local authorities in order to have their housing issues addressed. One of the big things that we look to do, though, is where people are on low income or are maybe homeless or maybe incapacitated, what we will do is we will, as well as seeing people in our office, we will go out to them and we'll do home visits, or we will see them at the Irish World Heritage Centre in Cheetham Hill on a Wednesday. Where people have a low income or are incapacitated, they shouldn't be isolated from receiving the support that they require.
So, Jordan, tell me about your job here at Irish Community Care.
Yeah, my job title is Advocacy and Support Officer at Irish Community Care. So my job would be working with people with multiple and complex needs over a longer period of time. So the aim of the programme is to get into people who are in need of help for multiple reasons and try and help them live a bit more independently.
Now, I know a lot of your work is based out of the office, so tell me a bit about that.
Yeah, so I tend to visit people in the homes, and I go to meetings around the place, but it's very rare that I'd have people come in to see me in the office. It does happen sometimes, but mine would be a more home-based approach, so I visit people like once a week, twice a week maybe, to try and help them out and do things there where people feel more comfortable. And if I need to be at meetings and things outside of their homes or this office, then I attend them as well.
Since COVID, and obviously with the cost of living crisis, have you found out that number of people applying to Irish Community Care has increased?
Yeah, I think part of that is the success of the programme. We've proven that we're really good at what we do, and more people are coming in now, so it's really great news. But there was already a huge need, but like you say, with COVID and cost of living, the need is even greater now. So I won't want to say victims of our own success, but we are proving that we're really important for people and getting more and more referrals in because of that.
Of course, the service that you provide is vitally important to a lot of people who can't get out, who are stuck in their own homes, may not have transport to come to see you for a variety of reasons. It's really important that you can go and visit them. Yeah, it is.
It's a really important thing, because sometimes people would miss out on a lot of things because they are housebound or they can't get out of the house for whatever reason. And it's a really important link to the community of what we do. And obviously with the work we do, it's culturally appropriate, so it's within the Irish community and the traveller community as well. The needs of the community, like I say, my job, the people I work with are multiple and complex, and that could be anything really. The biggest ones I'd say are housing and social care. So in Manchester, it's quite difficult to find housing, affordable housing. A lot of people are experiencing homelessness, and social care as well is really difficult to get proper social care because the need is so great, and there's not really much funding for the organisations that are bound to provide it. So we are an important link between the people we serve and these statutory organisations. But as well as homelessness, social care, it could be anything. It could be isolation, it could be issues around domestic violence and substance abuse, and we really tend to try and help people throughout all of these needs. And no need that people have is too much for us. Sometimes we aren't qualified to deal with some of the needs, but we'll always try our best to try and help signpost people and just try and assist in any way we can. And our purpose is a culturally appropriate charity, so working within the Irish community, the traveller community as well, to be that link between our service users and these organisations.
I know that you get involved in other things here at Irish Community Care as well.
Yeah, we get involved in all sorts. So the job, nobody just sticks to the one job here. So we get involved in all the community activities. We go to fundraisers, different culture, community events and everything. So there's nothing really here I haven't done at this point, and it's the same for the whole team. Fundraising for the charity comes in a few forms. Obviously the Immigrant Support Programme for the Irish Government funds most of the large bulk of the work we do, but the advocacy and support programmes majority funded by the National Lottery, so their charitable funding funds us, and then individual donations go into the charity as well. But yeah, my role is entirely funded by that National Lottery funding, and we're going for a second round of it this year as well.
We're looking at Irish Community Care in Manchester today, but of course we've got Irish Community Care in Merseyside, Leeds Irish Health and Homes in Leeds, and many, many more, the Irish in Britain. There's a wide variety of help out there if people know where to go.
This is really, really important for people to remember, that when they are looking at this situation and they need help and advice, they should go to a reputable organisation that can offer them help and assistance. They should be able to rely on getting confidential and reliable advice from trained workers. They should look at their situation and say, I'm going to have to give over some confidential information. Am I confident with the person? So we'd advise people to, look up your local advice agency, particularly, as you say, there is Irish advice agencies dotted all over Britain who can offer that help and support. And we'd particularly encourage people at this time who are over pension age to look at applying for something like pension credits. The reason for that is because it's a benefit that will top up your income if you receive beneath £201 if you're single, or £320 if you're part of a couple. It also may entitle you to receive other benefits such as housing benefit if you're renting, or council tax support. In some ways it's relatively straightforward to apply for if you are savvy with the internet. We know some of our client group isn't that way inclined, so they can receive support from advice agencies in order to make that inquiry. At present there's around 800,000 people who don't receive that support, and in this day and age, with the cost of living crisis, it can top up your income to ensure that you can have a better standard of living.
That is the big problem, isn't it? That a lot of people don't know where to go. They don't kind of know where they can get help from and how they can apply for these things. And information is vitally important.
Many of our clients will have worked their entire life, will never have claimed a benefit, will never have had much contact with the benefit system. So the complexity of the benefit system really does make people flustered and puts people off making the application. You shouldn't be put off making an application. Often people have spent their entire life paying into national insurance contributions, paying tax contributions. That money is there and you've paid into it for the very reason that you need to, when you need help and support, you can then apply for it and you can then receive that money. It will be like paying car insurance, being in a car accident and then refusing to claim on your car insurance. Your national insurance contributions that you've paid for years and years and years are there to help you.
Tell us how people can contact Irish Community Care in Manchester.
We are available on 0161 205 9105, or you can contact us at advice@irishcommunitycare.com. We can see people either in the office or we can see them on a home visit if they are struggling financially to get down to Levenshulme and see us, or they are incapacitated and cannot physically attend an appointment here. We want Irish Community Care Manchester to be a Manchester-wide service, not just one that's solely based in Levenshulme. We want it to go out to the people so people can receive the support that they may require.
Irish Community Care is a wonderful organisation, and I'm sure if you need any help or guidance, they will do their very best to help you. Now we're going to take a little break and we'll be back in 2 minutes.
Supreme Upholstery Limited is a manufacturer of quality bespoke upholstered furniture. Come along with your ideas for that perfect sofa to fit your home and let Supreme bring your ideas to fruition. We also offer a service to the contract market, including large hotel groups and small family-run business. No matter how large or how small your order, you will always get that personal service from our sales team. Come along and visit our showroom.
Eurogold is driven by being the best civil engineering contractor in the Northwest, ensuring its clients are given the highest level of service that they deserve. Eurogold work in a wide range of industry sectors, including house building, highways, commercial and industrial build.
La Vita is an award-winning, independently run Italian restaurant. Located on Rose Lane in the heart of Liverpool, real Italian-style dishes, using the best ingredients, skillfully prepared by our chefs. Come and try our serious Italian experience.
The Warrington Irish Club, a friendly and welcoming club keeping the Irish culture alive. We have Irish and country music every Saturday night, tribute nights, race nights, charity nights and karaoke. All live sports are shown on big screens. We have snooker, dominoes and crown green bowling teams along with arts and craft. Pop in for a friendly welcome and book your event at the Warrington Irish Club. Give Frank a call on 01925 243 363.
Mulligan's Funeral and Monumental Services are a family-owned funeral service first established by the late Brian Mulligan in 1996. We provide funeral homes in Gorton, Manchester and Reddish, Stockport, and we pride ourselves on giving a friendly and professional service to all the families who use our service. Contact us on 0161 432 0809.
Welcome back. Now, St Alphonsus Parish Centre in Old Trafford, Manchester, first opened in 1984, and since then it's been the centre of the community. Now, the centre is on the verge of closing through lack of support. We'll be meeting some of the people that's been involved for a very long time and finding out what's their plans to keep the centre open. Ricky, tell me a little bit about your involvement here with St Alphonsus Parish Centre.
Well, I'm responsible. I'm the operations director for the Diocese of Salford for their social centres, parish centres, and my job here is to work with the parish priest and the manager of the parish centre so that we operate a decent facility for the local community so that they can hold their events here, their celebrations of all their life, births, marriages and deaths and every important occasion in between. And all the various things that people want to do in sport and recreation, from dancing and exercise and all these types of things. So, and meeting together, planning events, doing charitable objectives, all the types of stuff that happens in a parish centre, as you would find anywhere in many of our communities.
As we all know, that clubs and pubs and parish centres are starting to struggle a little bit. So tell us a little bit about the decline here.
Well, you could say that the pandemic is a key factor in this, in as much as it awakes everybody. We tried to keep all our centres open, and it was a very expensive process because obviously these places still have staff, they still have all manner of costs. We find ourselves now in a position with the cost of living crisis and all the very big restraints that normal people have on everyday budgets to try and operate successfully and just to turn. We're not necessarily looking for a commercial profit, but what we want to make sure is that the parishes are not in deficit as a result of the activities that take place in these parish centres, because most of the parishes are not in a position to fund that from a revenue day-to-day point of view either. So that's the issues really. So as you can see, if people have got less money to spend, our business model is people having parties, people coming together and using the facilities for their important moments. and also obviously for the hire of it for exercise and dance and the like. If there's not as many people turning out, if there's not many people using it in the communities, then obviously revenue declines, and we're in a position where we've still got to pay our staff, we've still got the building costs, and all that comes from the parish. Yeah. And if the parish can't afford it, then we're in situations like we are here in St Alphonsus, where we've got to raise questions about whether we can continue over the long term.
Over the last 2 years, we've had the boxing club upstairs, above this room, and it's proved to be a fantastic asset for the community. We get young people off the streets participating in the disciplined sport which boxing is. You know, as a coach, we become mentors. It's not just about two lads or two girls nowadays getting in the ring and knocking 12 bells out of each other, which is, you know, sometimes it's a public perception out there that is the case. But no, it's so much more than that. All of my generation, all of my friends, you know, we all played different sports, not only boxing, but football, cricket, basketball, and there doesn't seem to be the same opportunities that I had when I was young for the youngsters of today. So that's why I'm involved in the boxing club as a volunteer, and I've got other volunteers giving back. It'd be an absolute tragedy if we lost this facility, if we lost the boxing club. So if we lost this facility, we lost the boxing club, where would all these young people go? And then the fallout would be, in a couple of years' time, when we get antisocial behaviour, etc., the police or the local councillors would say, what about that boxing club we had 2 years ago? You know, what about it? What about the centre? So, you know, we're asking for help. If there's people out there who've got an affinity with either the sport or the area or the club, or they just want to do good. We've got like chandeliers from 1940 upstairs. So when we're skipping, the ropes hit these chandeliers. So we need lighting, new lighting system up there. The toilets need refurbishing upstairs. The ring needs a new canvas. We need some mirrors upstairs for when we're shadow boxing and things. All of these little factors will really help and contribute to improving the facility, to providing a better offer, to get more people off the streets. People come in the boxing club and they socialise. So it's not just about the sport. You know, they socialise and interact, and it's confidence building. They engage with other members of the club. It's so many things. Where we are Old Trafford Boxing Club, by the way, so there might be some Manchester United fans out there who can help out.
Lily, tell me, how long have you been involved with St Alphonsus Parish Centre?
I have been involved since it opened up in '84, when it first opened. It was a school before it was a club, and my 4 children came to school here, and then they moved on, and then it closed down, the school closed, and they had a new school, St Joseph's, over the other side. And that's when this started up. Then Father McMahon came here. He used to be in St Wilfrid's, and he came here, and it was the best day we ever had because he came, because he started this club up. And everybody volunteered. Nobody was paid for anything. We all volunteered, came in and worked, and he got it to what it's like today. And that's, you know, because of him that got us all going together, because we had nothing here beforehand. There was, I think, 2 or 3 priests here, but nobody wanted to get, but I never knew anybody in the parish much until Father McMahon came. He got us all together, and as I say, this club was absolutely brilliant. It used to be heaving, and my 4 children came here to discos. He organised discos, and they came here, and it was great because we could come and sit here, and the kids could be, you know, we kept an eye on them, sort of thing, which was brilliant. It's been a great little club. The biggest majority of the people are all gone. They're all gone up to heaven that was supported this. There's very few, I think there's only about 2 or 3 of us left. I would like to say to try and get young people coming in. We have had our day here and we're ready for, for up to heaven. But I'd like to see that people would kind of support the youngsters that's coming up, like the boxing club and stuff like that, to keep it going. If anybody out there is willing to donate something towards the club, it would be very much appreciated. We do not want this centre to close because it would just go to rack and ruin. And as I say, there is young people coming up and there is a lot of young people moving in the area, and it would be lovely for them to come and support it as well.
Now, St Alphonsus Parish and of course the centre here means an awful lot to people over the last 40 years. Lots of people got married here, had the celebrations here, had all sorts of things. But now is the time that we're calling maybe on a lot of those people to put their shoulder to the wheel and maybe support the centre in any way they possibly can.
Absolutely. I think when buildings have been, and facilities like this have been here for so long, as you've said, I think everybody just assumes that they're always going to be here, that they're still as vibrant as they always were, and you know, people move away, people have different priorities, they don't come necessarily as often or every day to a place, so they don't realise sometimes that there's a struggle. You might have people that come on a Wednesday night for a dance class, but don't realise that on the Saturday when we could have had a party, there isn't the party anymore, and therefore the whole thing starts to fail a little just simply because of bills and the like. So that's one of the challenges.
It would be a crying shame, of course, if the centre had to close, because as we look around here today, it's a beautiful centre, a lovely homely place for people to come and enjoy.
Yeah, absolutely. These places are usually the core social resource in a local area. They're the point where people can come together. There's less and less of them because, as we see from the decline of the high street and pubs and clubs and the like, buildings cost money. And this place is no different. We don't get any dispensation for being the church. We've still got the same rising heating costs. We've still got the same maintenance costs. And we've got to keep these places alive as much as we can. But of course, we've only got as much money as is put on the plate or is raised by our charity in the way that it is. We can't afford necessarily to continue to sustain a building. And quite often the brutal facts are, if people don't attend, it means that, you know, they don't want to come. And it might be at some point that these buildings end and new buildings and new facilities take place in other areas of the city. That's up to the local people. We have to give the local people the opportunity. I think in this particular case, and I've seen over the last couple of months, this is a wake-up call. This is a moment to say, we are considering closing it. The economics work like this. The parish are the people who are responsible for the upkeep of these places. If you don't use it, then you will lose it.
It would be a real shame if St Alphonsus Parish Centre had to close. It provides a great service to the local community. And if you think you can help in any way to keep the centre open, please contact them. Now, we hope you've enjoyed the show tonight. We'll be back next Thursday evening at 7:30. Until then, take good care.